Not really. Like I said, I'm not identified with PDP. Even when I left, PDP had the national government, right? So if I wanted to stay, if it was that you associating with the winner, I believe I would have stayed then and continue to stay with PDP until recently when PDP, either even before they lost the first national election, I was gone. So I do not think of it that way. I could have stayed. I could have gotten I don't know. I might have lobbied for a federal appointment. I could have continued to lobby for something. So I don't see it as that. The other part of it is that when I was away, the people that reach out to me, I was talking to, are all in APC. I don't think anybody in the current PDP as it is, or ADC as it's trying to be, communicated with me or asked, how are you doing? So for me, that was the fundamental reason. It's really the fact that, yes, it's all politics, but politics, people are still human beings. You need to care for people. You need to ask about them. We all need to, all human beings are self-serving in some way, but also when you care about people, then they turn to you because I wasn't lobbied. I guess that's one thing I can say, that nobody said, oh, you should join this or this will happen or you should join that. So it was a decision made from that personal reason that people reached out to me, they're talking to me, not to lobby me, but just people, we care about you and we like you, we love you as a human being. How are you doing?
So let's talk about consistency and the perception that will definitely trail your campaign trail. So maybe because we're talking about primaries in maybe 2 months or so,
yes,
coming up, and you left the PDP, or you were not, doing anything with the PDP after you lost the election, and that's quite critical, because some people say you left power or you didn't win re-election, so you just decided to just ghost or something?
No.
Because it's going to come up as a question of consistency. When you don't have power, then you're not committed to your party.
Let me first, maybe I'll go back to how I joined politics and why I left. I'll start with the end and then go back to the beginning.
Fantastic.
So I wasn't going to run for that election. So because I wasn't going to run, and there was a lot of pressure by my supporters to run, so when I lost, I saw it as a blessing. I wasn't going to run, and I
you didn't want to seek re-election?
No.
Oh, okay.
So I had the Harvard Fellowship. I told you I postponed it. I was going to, it's a January to December fellowship. So I was going to start the January of the year of the election and just come back because that time there will be not a lot of activity because everybody is going for re-election anyway. That was the last 6 months, no, it's even less than 6 months, 5 months before election. So I was like, I have a perfect plan. I'm not going to run for a re-election. When I told them the pressure, just the pleading, so how can you do this to us? So I felt, for me, that if I had stayed around, there would still be constant pressure to get a political post, right? Because these supporters, and sometimes I think non-politicians don't understand this, and even not only in Nigeria but around the world, sometimes some decisions by politicians is based on the followers, people that depend on you and have associated with you and have told the world this is where they are, right? So and so you feel beholden to them because you are part of the system to sustain them. And so I felt the only way I could not get that pressure and continue to do things that I wasn't comfortable with doing was to just cut myself away so that then they will have to find some other politician to follow or do something else. And so there was that. And And then going back to, so it was just that I'd already made that decision. I wasn't going to
So it was more like a blessing in disguise, if you will.
Thank you. For me, that was
Yes.
how I saw it. And
Okay.
now, and then how I joined politics initially was that